best way to start having fun is to just close your eyes and jump off of a cliff.
There's something very strange about this case. I'm gonna find out what it is.
Allegra's an easy girl to fall in love with.
Now, I think that makes her uncle one very wealthy priest.
A guy like that, he could buy witnesses by the pound. You break into my house, you follow me.
If you're trying to hide from me, Rick Hunter, you're gonna have to do a much better job than that.
Hey, you're not supposed to be parking there.
Who elected you mayor?
Listen, Sonny.
Somebody threw her right out the window. 12 stories. She hit the metal awning on the way down and rolled off onto the pool deck. First impact probably killed her. Ruben's up there now.
Any ID on her, Barney?
Her name's Allegra Bryant.
What?
Do you know her?
Yeah, I knew her.
Somebody tossed a very pretty girl out that window.
Put up a heck of a fight.
Not good enough, Dee Dee.
You handle this, okay?
Looks like it's gonna be a tough one. She was beautiful, wealthy, parents deceased, had a huge trust fund. She was a bit of a playgirl. But then that's not really anything you don't know, is it?
No, it's not.
So where'd you meet this girl? You never mentioned her.
It was way before your time. I mean, our time as partners. Garriman and I had just finished working the Echo Park case. I was exhausted, so I drove down to Lagoon Beach. And there she was.
What are you looking at?
Actually, I'm looking at a very pretty girl who has walked back and forth in front of me 3 times in the last 5 minutes.
That obvious, huh?
Yeah.
My name's Allegra Bryant.
Hey, Allegra. Rick Hunter, pull up a sand dune.
Thank you. Having a blast, aren't you?
Actually, I am. Isn't it obvious?
Oh, it is, of course. You've got your radio and your book and liquid refreshments.
Hey, where I come from, that's called breaking and entering. Watch it.
And where exactly do you come from?
Oh, I don't think you want to know that now, do you?
Can I be completely honest with you?
Do I have a choice?
No. I've been watching you for the past couple of days, and you're having a miserable time. Now, I know that you didn't come here intending to have a miserable time.
Well, believe me, I'm having a very nice time. Trust me on that. I came down to read my book, enjoy the day, and up until about, I guess about a minute or so ago, I was having just that, a wonderful time.
Oh, come on, you don't have to lie to me. You came here to have fun, and it's just not happening. You just need a little guidance from the specialist, that's all.
Where do you think I might find that specialist?
Ta-da!
Yeah, somehow it doesn't surprise me.
Well, this specialist in particular has found that the best way to start having fun is to just close your eyes and jump off of a cliff.
Is that a fact?
It is a fact. Come on. Oh, wait. Okay. That's the cliff. Now just walk up to it. No, don't look down. You'll get dizzy.
You know, the last time I felt like this, I was at the top of the Empire State Building. I don't like it.
It's okay. Just close your eyes and hold my hand.
I'll tell you what. I'll hold your hand, but I won't close my eyes so I can look at you all the way down.
But on 3, we jump.
Yeah, I'm counting on you to get me through this.
Trust me. Put
Yeah.
your foot back.
Okay.
You ready? 1, 2,
Yeah.
3! I think you had a great time today, Ace.
Well, I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me something. Are you really a policeman on vacation, or are you here to arrest somebody?
Well, actually, I'm here to have a nice, quiet vacation.
Me too.
Really? Well, I didn't think you did this for a living.
But I do.
morning.
Hi.
Is Allegra here?
Who?
Allegra Bryant, is she here?
Oh, you mean the girl who was here before me? She canceled or something. Hey, it worked out great as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
She was reserved for the full week, checked out after 5 days, left last night at 3 a.m.
Were you working the desk, Henry?
Oh, yes, I was. She seemed a bit rushed, if that's what you're asking. I got the impression that something might have happened that required her immediate attention.
Did she leave any messages?
Not a one.
Thanks.
So that was it? Did you ever see her again?
Yeah, she called me about 8 days later.
Hunter.
I guess you weren't lying when you said that you were a cop. Do you know that I had to call 7 Division before I finally ran you down? Now, if you're trying to hide from me, Rick Hunter, you're gonna have to do a much better job than that.
Allegra, what happened? Where are you?
Oh, I'm sitting in the lounge at the Norfolk Hotel at a very highly visible table in an exceedingly eye-catching dress.
I'll be right there. Very nice. So, you took off in the middle of the night, yeah?
It was the middle of the night here. But in Europe, it was the middle of the afternoon. It was perfect tanning weather.
What possessed you to do that?
I got a phone call from an old friend. Well, I haven't seen her in 3 years. She's been living in the south of France. And she just broke up with her boyfriend. She asked me to be with her.
You expect me to believe that?
Well, of course. A friend is a friend. And it was the middle of the night, remember? I didn't want to wake you up. Have you ever been on the spinner?
For some reason, going to my left is worse than going to my right.
This is great! Oh, don't you love this? Hurry.
Look at my balloon.
No, I got you. Yeah. I won.
Yeah, I know. Just find something a little bit more difficult.
We saw each other every other day or so for a while, and then she made reservations at a very, very nice restaurant. She never showed up. Now I ask you, how could you get serious with anybody who behaves that way? She never could say goodbye.
So what'd you do?
Well, I went looking for some answers. I looked up her uncle. He's a priest.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a church about a 2-hour drive north of Los Angeles.
You see, you have to realize that Allegra has a certain effect on people. She tends to elate and then disappoint. Now, it's not a willful capriciousness. It's her nature. She follows her heart. If Allegra's heart tells her it's time to fly off to the Himalayas, well, then, off she'll go.
Is that where she is?
Oh, no, I don't know. That's just an example. No, I'm her only living relative, but she rarely keeps in touch. She never tells me where she's going. I know, my friend, it's hard. Allegra's an easy girl to fall in love with, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Ten days later, she shows up in my house, in my kitchen, and cooking me dinner.
Where was she this time? Outer Mongolia?
No, the Amazon.
What, are you kidding?
No. As she put it, I had this sudden urge for tropical jungles.
Okay, so she's back from the Amazon. How long did she stay this time before she decided to disappear?
About 2 weeks.
Oh, well, you guys were made for each other. How long did this go on?
Well, it didn't. What I'm trying to tell you, Allegra, is I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, then let's sit down.
No. That's not what I mean, and you know it. I'm talking about your lifestyle. It's not working out for me.
But that's the way that I am.
Allegra, how do you think I feel every time you take off and vanish into thin air? I don't know when you're coming back, or I don't even know if you're coming back. Now, how are we supposed to get to know one another?
Look how pretty they are. You know, they only bloom a couple of months out of the year. Would you love them as much if you could see them every day? I can't change for you, Rick. Not for you, not for anyone, but I'm sorry.
Allegra, all I'm asking you to do is tell me when you take off. Is that too much to ask?
I just hate to say goodbye.
So that was it?
No, actually, she called me 6 months later.
Could have guessed that.
We had lunch. She said she had all these new and exciting things for us to do, but I said no. That was it.
Well, she was beautiful and wealthy. Now we just gotta figure out who would want to kill her.
Only living relative is the uncle. He's the only one that stands to inherit anything.
Yeah, it makes him a prime suspect.
What are you talking about, McCall? He's a Jesuit priest. They take a vow of poverty.
Oh, well, priest or not, he's still a lead. What did you say? He was a couple hours drive away from here?
Look, McCall, relax. I'll take care of this, okay? You take care of the check.
It's been, I don't know, 8 months since I saw her.
Father, do you know anybody who might have taken her life?
No.
Did she mention anybody lately? Somebody that maybe she was involved with?
There was a man she spoke of once, Johnny Martino.
Johnny Martino.
I believe he's associated with one of the hotels in Nevada.
Yeah, doll. Here, this ought to hold you for a couple of days, all right?
Johnny, I don't want your money. I want us to spend more time together.
Maybe next week, baby. I got a lot of business to do the next few days.
Johnny, you promised that...
Excuse me. Sergeant Hunter.
Johnny Martino.
Right. Come on in. Thanks for calling. I'll talk to you later, okay, baby? Bye. Can I get you a drink?
Not for me, thank you.
Excuse me, I'll have one. You're a smart man. It's bad for the internal plumbing.
How well did you know Allegra?
As well as anybody, probably. She was in love with me. I was down in your neck of the woods about 2 years ago on a vacation, one of those tennis hot tub places. And we met on the court. Was it in a hot tub? I don't know, one thing led to another. Did you know her?
Yeah, we had met.
She romanticized me as some kind of a gangster, I think. She wanted me to have a nickname like Nicky Bananas, Paulie the Weasel. I said, Allegra, please. I don't want to be known as a piece of fruit or some kind of a rodent. Anyway, when you were coming in, did you notice that hotel across the street?
Yeah, the big hotel?
Mm-hmm. When I was 25 years old, I had 12 points in that place. Of course, things weren't so clean in those days, but maybe I knew a few people. But I never was in no mob. Not then, not now.
So what happened between you and Allegra?
Oh, that didn't last. I'm afraid I'm not a one-woman man. I've got a lot of business investments, and I'm surrounded by beautiful women 24 hours a day. Allegra didn't like that too much. So we called it quits. That was about a year ago. I haven't seen her since.
Have you heard from her in that time?
Well, she left a lot of messages, but I never returned any of the calls. Too bad. Funny girl. Sure I can't get you one of these? Only take a second.
No, thanks.
Sergeant Hunter?
Yeah.
You want to come with me?
Why?
Somebody would like to speak to you.
Yeah.
You don't let me go out. I went to go to school last time after 7. I'll never try.
Over here. Remember me?
You're on in 5 minutes, girl. Yeah, you're the girl in Johnny Martinez room.
Yeah, Michelle. Sergeant.
Hunter.
Right. You hear about Allegra, aren't you?
Yeah?
If I know Johnny, he told you that Allegra was nuts about him and he blew her off, right?
Right.
Figures. Johnny'd never admit the truth to another man. He was completely in love with her, wanted to marry her. She drove him crazy, strung him along for months. She'd disappear for weeks at a time. She'd call from Greece and tell him the weather was great. He'd drop everything and fly there. She'd be gone. Drove him absolutely insane. He kept trying to track her down, bothering all her other friends. She finally told him to leave her alone. She wasn't in love with him.
Why are you telling me all this?
Because I'm sick of hearing about Allegra this and Allegra that. I met Johnny 6 months after she dumped him, and still that's all he could talk about. It got better for a while, but now he's a basket case again. Now, if Johnny could stop kidding himself about her, maybe the two of us could have a chance. Look, I just can't compete with some fantasy chick who's not even alive anymore.
3 minutes, let's move it.
Well, look, I appreciate the information. Thanks very much.
Don't mention it. You gonna stay for the show?
No. Next time around, I will.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
I've got 12 witnesses that say Martina was in Las Vegas the day Allegra was murdered.
Now, I checked all the flights from Vegas to Los Angeles. No Martino.
Well, if he doesn't own a plane, he can borrow one. I mean, a guy like that, he could buy witnesses by the pound.
Charlie, I know that, but right now, the guy checks out.
Put a check on Allegra's finances. Recent estimates put her trust at $50 million. All of that money went to one heir when she was killed. Now, I think that makes her uncle one very wealthy priest.
Are you going to continue this?
What's the story on you two?
McCall thinks just because the guy's going to inherit $50 million, that we should make him a #1 suspect.
Well, sounds logical to me.
Will you guys get off the guy? He's a Jesuit priest. He had nothing to do with this. Trust me on that.
Now, you seem a little edgy, Hunter. Are you sure you're giving us the whole story here?
Yeah, I'm edgy, Charlie. I've been edgy ever since the girl was murdered. Now, there's something strange about this case. I'm gonna find out what it is.
4. Interference with a police officer, suspicion of breaking and entering.
And how about the murder of Allegra Bryant?
Excuse me. Hi.
Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Nice garden.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could tell me if there's a place around here where people get together, you know, just hang out.
Oh, well, I'd like to say my church, but unfortunately that is not the case. Well, there aren't any clubs or bars, if that's what you're looking for.
No, that's not what I meant. See, I'm just driving up the coast, and it's just so very pretty here. I thought it would be nice to stay over a couple nights, take a little time.
Well, you might try Mrs. McGinnis across the street. She runs a bed and breakfast. People from the city often stop there when they come through.
Okay. Good, thank you.
Not at all.
Bye.
Goodness, come in out of that rain. Looking for a place to stay?
Well, actually, I was just driving through, and, well, a friend of mine, Allegra Bryant, used to tell me about this spot, so I just thought I'd stop.
Oh, so awful.
Yeah. You knew Allegra?
Oh, I've known her for years. She was here just last week.
Last week? You sure?
Yes. Just a few days before she died.
Thank you.
Allegra visits her Uncle Father Michael's all the time. Well, he lets her use the little house behind the church.
It's funny, I don't remember her saying anything about that. Are you sure that it was last week?
Well, she came in for breakfast. She does that sometimes. Oh, here I am, rattling on about her like she's still alive. Sad end to a sad life.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how some people seem to walk around with a black cloud over their head? That was Allegra, right? Used to sit right over there, stare into her coffee and not say a word for hours and hours. Saddest girl I've ever seen. It's a shame. So pretty and all.
Are you sure we're talking about the same person here?
That's Allegra. First time I've ever seen her smile.
I don't think you realize who you're talking to.
You're a #1 suspect in a murder case.
I was in Vegas when that girl was killed, and you know it.
You were in love with her. You wanted to marry her, but she didn't want you. And if she couldn't be with you, she wasn't gonna be with anybody. And that's why you killed her.
No! Are you through?
No, I'm not through, Johnny. Got one more thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna book you for first-degree murder. Don't go away.
Hold it. Wait a minute here. All right, look, I'll talk. I was in love with Allegra. Is that what you want to hear, Sergeant Hunter? Is that what you want to know?
No, Johnny, that's not what I want to hear. I want to know why you're in Los Angeles.
I figured if you had some lead on the guy that did it, I could find out. I want to kill this guy myself. Look, I know how it works. You guys are going to bust the guy that did it. Then he's going to beat the rap, or else he'll plea bargain his way into a second-degree murder beef. He'll catch 20 years, and he'll be on the street in 7. Not this time. The guy that threw Allegra out that window's going to die. One way or the other, he's going to die.
We'll see about that. Sit down.
Hunter, that guy would rather go to the gas chamber than admit he was in love with a woman. I just got back. I went up and visited Allegra's uncle.
Well, you didn't tell me you were going up there.
No, that's because you and I have a difference of opinion concerning this particular priest. And I feel he's a strong suspect, and so I had to act accordingly.
What'd you find out?
I found out he lied to you. He said that Allegra had not been up to visit him in 8 months, and that's not true. She was up to see him the week before she was killed.
Wait a minute. Did he tell you that?
No, I went and talked with a neighbor. She said that Allegra went up to visit her uncle several times a year. She was up there just last week.
Was there a passport inventoried in the stuff from Allegra's apartment?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Let's go find out. There's not one visa stamp in this passport. All the time she said she was out of the country, she was lying to me. She never left, not once. Well, I'll tell you, I gotta go have a talk with Father Michaels.
Well, wait a second. There was something else that I wanted to tell you.
What?
Just when you get up there, don't be surprised if you find out that Allegra was not who you think she was.
Father Michaels, I know Allegra was in town 1 week before she was murdered. We talked to Mrs. McGinnis.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's true.
Father, you told me you hadn't seen her in 8 months. Why?
Allegra made me promise to tell no one about this place or her visits. And in honor of her memory, I kept that promise. She spent most of the time in that little house out back there, as if there was something somewhere she didn't want to face. I couldn't guess what it was. She barely said a word.
It doesn't sound like Allegra. She has a statue just like this in her apartment.
Yes, the original was a gift from my grandmother when I took my vows. I gave it to Allegra for her confirmation.
Thank you very much, Father.
Sergeant, no matter what Allegra was, or why, there was still no reason for someone to kill her. And so brutally.
Take her cop any day of the week. Rick, come on! I'm busting out of here and you're invited.
Where you been?
I know who killed Allegra Bryant.
Spent the morning talking to some psychiatrists about Allegra's problems. All of them seemed to agree on one thing. She sounded like a classic case of manic depressive psychosis. These doctors are going to stipulate to that fact for our records. Let me show you something. You notice anything about this statue?
Yeah, it's the only thing in the whole place that's not broken.
Exactly. Father Michaels gave it to Allegra for a confirmation. There's a life and death struggle going on in this place, and this statue is the only thing that isn't broken. Take a look at this place. It's trashed. Everything is broken, except this, laying down in the middle of the floor.
I think I got you.
There was no struggle for life and death here. Allegra committed suicide.
But how are we going to report it?
Well, look, her last wish was to protect her uncle from the pain of her decision. I'd kind of like to respect that.
Yeah, but if we do that, then we're going to have to report it as an unsolved murder. And if we do that, that means 50 years from now, there are going to be 2 homicide detectives just like you and me investigating the Allegra Bryant case.
I know. And we can't do that.
No.
I still don't like the alternative.
Hello, Father.
Hello there. You're a police officer.
Yes, I am.
Father Michaels, Allegra was experiencing some very difficult mood swings, wasn't she?
She was.
But she refused to be treated, didn't she?
Yes. Oh, I suggested it more than once. Allegra wouldn't even discuss it with me. What you two very compassionate people are gently trying to ask is, did it ever occur to me that she may have killed herself?
Yes.
That may have been my first thought. But I've also seen photographs of her apartment. And I've read about evidence that Allegra put up a terrible struggle before she died.
There is no evidence putting anybody that would want to kill her in that apartment, Father. All the evidence points to suicide.
But that would still be an opinion, wouldn't it, Sergeant? I mean, we are discussing a matter of opinion here, not fact.
Yes, we are.
Well, then, by all means, Sergeant, you have your opinion. And I shall have mine. An individual who takes his own life rarely does so without leaving a note behind. Allegra was loved and cherished by so many people. If she had taken her own life, she would have left a note. I'm convinced of that.
What do you think?
I know Allegra would have never left a suicide note.
Why?
Because she could never say goodbye.
Goodbye is so... I don't know. It's just so final. It just doesn't work for me. Now, in some faraway lands, People have a single word that means both goodbye and hello. It's sort of a generalized, all-purpose, one-size-fits-all verbal gesture. Okay, it's a small improvement, very small. But it doesn't address the full gravity of the question. It's like if you say goodbye, you're not really sure you're ever coming back. Not absolutely positive. I think goodbye has a bit of an end in it. There is the chance that you will never see that person again. And I think that people die a little bit every time that they say it. So, Rick, promise me that you won't ever say goodbye. Not until it really is goodbye. Then you can. Then I won't mind. I'll be in a place where I won't mind at all.